She said something about the family that makes so much sense to me.
I've noticed that they will do anything and everything to be famous.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are throwing full-blown tantrum fits after their toxic family dynamics got dragged into the spotlight.
I spent enough time with this family to speak about personal relationships and who they really are. How Blake Lively is displayed today in the media as a diva and someone who just tried to steal this movie and so on. All of that is true. That's Lively family.
The golden couple mask is cracking, and what's underneath? A mess of Botox, designer lies, and PR disasters.
That Blake Lively's not being honest.
Now, together, they're drowning in staged paparazzi moments and desperate image makeovers.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' worldwide PDA tour is backfiring.
Let's talk facts. In the last 2 weeks alone, Blake and Ryan have shown up to more red carpets than they have in the past 3 months combined. Do you smell that? That's not Chanel, it's desperation. Hugh Jackman's Broadway play suddenly became a mandatory date night event for them.
Blake and him, when they arrived at Hugh Jackman's play, his Broadway play that he's been promoting a lot lately, and of course his best friend and his wife Blake showed up, and she stopped to pose for the paparazzi outside.
Cute, except nobody's buying the "we're here for Hugh" routine. It's giving quick, let's look normal energy, and it's as see-through as Blake's fake pizza purse. Honestly, they could have attended a ribbon cutting for a dog park, and we'd still see right through it.
So the reason why she was wearing a pizza bag, or a bag shaped as a pizza, was because she was promoting Another Simple Favor.
Public rebranding tour in full swing, folks. And don't get me started on how every paparazzi clique now feels like a therapy session for their marriage.
He just wants to show everyone that he supports Ryan Reynolds, which we know is not a great move. There was another story on Daily Mail about how fans are telling Hugh Jackman to stay away, but he's not listening, he's not going to do it, and he will be subpoenaed.
But the plot thickens. Let's rewind to the family mess they've been trying to bury under designer bags and Botox. According to journalist Elizabeth Lane, who's apparently had front row seats to the Lively family freak show, this clan is addicted to fame like it's an IV drip. Blake and her sister Robin?
So this is a journalist called Elizabeth Lane, and she is apparently close to Blake Lively's family. She said that she knew Robin pretty well and her husband Bart.
Yeah, that's not sisterly love. That's Hunger Games. Robin was the it girl once upon a time, back when VHS tapes were a thing. But fame forgot her, and Blake made it her life's mission to never suffer the same fate. So now, Robin's in the background, fading like a bad Instagram filter, while Blake clutches the spotlight with both Botoxed hands.
Robin was the star of the family, right? Back in the day. Now no one remembers Robin, but Blake always looked up to her and wanted to be famous as Robin and so on. I've noticed that they will do anything and everything to be famous.
And then there's the mysterious third sister, the one who may as well be living under witness protection. You know things are messy when your sibling only shows up at public events once a decade, like a solar eclipse. She made an appearance at the Events With Us premiere, and people were genuinely shocked she existed. That tells you all you need to know about how this family operates.
The family dynamics is Robin and Blake have an older sister, and they treat her like she's non-existent or something.
If you're not fueling the fame machine, you're cut from the narrative. And speaking of machine operators, let's talk about Bart Johnson, Robin's husband. The guy's on Instagram more than Gen Z influencers, dropping carefully timed posts like he's Blake's unofficial PR agent. Strategic? Yes. Subtle? Not even close.
But I think, yeah, as you said, it also goes for Blake. And I think there's been some rivalry going on there. And her older sister that no one ever talks about, she showed up at the Events With Us premiere and something else. And people were like, oh my God, she never shows up at anything. So
now, let's take a detour from family dysfunction and visit Ryan's face. Because wow, where do we begin? The man is 48, which is totally fine. What's not fine is trying to age backward using orange goo and an entire syringe collection. Seriously, this guy is so orange now, he could be declared a new Pantone shade,
Also, everyone keeps talking about Ryan Reynolds' tan. It's so funny. I was mentioning it the other day that he starts looking like RFK. He's getting tanner and tanner. More and more orange, people are saying now.
Tabloids have started comparing him to Ross from Friends. Yes, that tanning episode. At this point, even Ross would tell him to sit down and exfoliate.
There's been a lot of stories about Ryan's appearance lately. I don't like mocking people for their appearance, but I think when you're doing something on purpose that makes you look really weird, I think it's okay to call it out.
And while we're on the topic of his face, let's talk Botox. Because no 48-year-old man should smile and look smoother than a baby seal. Zero crow's feet, zero laugh lines, zero personality left in his expressions. His face is giving mannequin.
And as I said, I think he looked like RFK, but somewhat people online have also been comparing him to this episode of Friends with Ross.
I know!
Close-up photos from Daily Mail confirmed what the rest of us already suspected. He's got patchy, uneven orange skin around his neck. That's right, folks. Even his neck is participating in the lie. And if your neck can't be honest, what else are you hiding?
Someone like Ryan Reynolds, who is so vain. And the thing is, he's 48, he's aging. He doesn't have any lines. I can totally see he's done Botox around his eyes and all that stuff that a lot of guys in Hollywood do. But he's getting more and more orange. And people are also commenting that he looks like he's aged a lot.
Now let's drag Blake for a second, because if you thought Ryan's tan was offensive, just wait until you hear about her $6,000 pizza-shaped purse. No, that's not a typo. $6,000. For a purse that looks like it was designed during a pizza party in kindergarten. InStyle and Page 6 both covered it like it was the second coming of fashion, but let's be real. This was a stunt. A painfully obvious, try-hard PR stunt.
But she did wear this purse, and it cost $6,000. I'm like, who wants to buy a bag that looks like a pizza for $6,000?
And don't even get me started on the whole messy bun and novelty bag look she pulled off at some Italian event. That wasn't style, it was strategy. The goal? Look quirky and relatable. The result? She looked like a rich kid trying to cosplay as whimsical street style. Everyone knew it was fake, but Blake has mastered the art of pretending she just threw something together, while having 5 stylists, 2 lighting assistants, and a PR intern taking notes on what angle her curls should fall.
Who wants to buy a bag that looks like a pizza for $6,000? I'm sure she didn't pay for it though. But anyways, this story is picked up, like I said.
The worst part? These two still think they can outsmart the public. They honestly believe people won't notice their sudden media saturation, that we're all just going to smile and swoon like it's 2016 again. Newsflash, no one's buying it. You can't throw on a Gucci suit and slap a smile over a crisis. And this isn't even subtle anymore. Their sudden obsession with being seen screams panic, not peace.
But first, I want to talk about how the global PDA tour between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is absolutely backfiring. Experts are chiming in, but look at this. We went from the Time Met Gala, back to Wrexham across the pond, then back to the premiere.
It's not just the red carpets either. Their body language has become as scripted as their interviews. Ryan stands just far enough to look respectful. Blake poses like she's never met the man, and somehow their smiles never quite reach their eyes. It's giving staged. It's giving awkward. It's giving, we're trying too hard because everything's falling apart behind the scenes.
A month after Ryan Reynolds did the UN Climate Conscious Pledge. He is such a hypocrite. But no, they got to get this good press. No matter where they go, that's what they'll be doing. And we've been covering it. Thanks to everybody's watching. But here's what experts are now questioning.
And honestly, the timing of it all is hilariously tragic. Right when all the rumors about Blake's shady PR moves, Ryan's lawsuit-adjacent quips, and Hugh Jackman's awkward middleman status start gaining traction. They start popping up like, hey guys, nothing to see here. It's like trying to fix a house fire by lighting scented candles. Sweetie, the roof is gone. We see the smoke.
And he will be deposed by Brian Friedman, and he has to tell him everything that he knows about Ryan and about especially Nice Pool.
A family obsessed with staying relevant, a couple faking chemistry, and a desperate attempt to hold together a brand that's crumbling faster than Ryan's tan line. Blake's playing dress up, Ryan's melting, and the rest of us? We're just here with popcorn watching the meltdown unfold. If this is their idea of unproblematic, then honey, I'd hate to see what problematic looks like. If you thought Blake and Ryan's PR chaos had peaked with fake tans and overpriced pizza purses, let me introduce you to the most uncomfortable +1 of 2025, Hugh Jackman. Poor Hugh.
There's been footage of them together taking helicopter rides all over the world. As we know, Anna de Armas was dating Ben Affleck a few years ago, which didn't end very well.
The man just wanted to promote his Broadway play, and now he's got front row seats to Hollywood's messiest scandal, and he didn't even buy a ticket. But that's what happens when you're friends with Ryan Reynolds, who apparently has the uncanny ability to turn every friendship into a legal liability. Here's the tea. Hugh Jackman is officially caught in the crossfire between Blake Lively's Cry Me a Victim act and Ryan's bad boy but make it sarcastic meltdown. Reynolds' oh-so-hilarious intimacy coordinator joke, yeah, the one everyone and their grandma interpreted as a dig at Justin Baldoni, has now snowballed into actual legal heat. And because Hugh shares screen time and red carpet space with Ryan, congratulations. He's now being eyed for a subpoena. Imagine being so toxic that even Wolverine might have to lawyer up just for standing too close to you.
There was also some close-up photos of him in Daily Mail where they showed his neck that looked very orange, and there were pictures of Blake and him when they arrived at Hugh Jackman's play.
And the backlash? Oh, it was instant. Daily Mail confirmed that Hugh gave Ryan a hug after his play, and boom, fans started yelling red flag louder than Blake's PR team during a leak. People aren't just mad, they're urging Hugh to stay away, like he's being peer pressured into high school detention. And for what? Supporting a friend? In Blake and Ryan's circus, even kindness becomes suspicious.
When the public sees Blake and Ryan looking lovey-dovey at the event, but then goes on TikTok and sees a video about a lip reader sharing that Blake ordered Ryan to kiss her, for instance, it creates mistrust in the couple and plants seeds of doubt that their relationship is staged.
And while we're dragging Hugh into the pit, let's not forget his new relationship with Sutton Foster. Cute on paper, but the internet's receipts say otherwise. The timeline is messy, like Blake Lively defending herself in an interview levels of messy. Sutton reportedly entered the picture before Hugh's 28-year marriage to Deborah Lee Furness was officially over.
After the show, the paparazzi were waiting outside and they came out, and Hugh gave Ryan Reynolds a hug in front of everyone, which to me seems like he just wants to show everyone that he supports Ryan Reynolds.
That's not romance, that's reruns of every midlife crisis cliche rolled into one Broadway-sized scandal. And Deb? Oh, she's not playing nice either. She reportedly told friends she can spot a midlife crisis from a mile away and bets the new relationship won't last more than a year. Honestly, she deserves an award just for staying quiet this long while Blake and Ryan turn every press moment into a dumpster fire.
After you've been married for I think they were married for 28 years. It's okay, it happens to 50% of couples. And it's understandable that Deborah is coming out.
Speaking of desperation, let's talk about Blake and Ryan's paparazzi tour. You know, the one they pretend is casual, but is about as low-key as Blake's acting in that Seth Meyers interview. These two went from reclusive to red carpet obsessed overnight. For months, they were nowhere. Silent, absent, and probably strategizing in some overpaid PR dungeon. But suddenly, every award show, theater opening, and sidewalk in New York has become a runway for, hey, we're still the perfect couple. Don't cancel us.
Fox News Digital, this type of strategy, flooding the market with appearances as an attempt to show normalcy and appearing unbothered or unaffected by the drama, is typically not well advised in crisis response planning.
TMZ even joked that if someone opens an envelope, Blake and Ryan would be there. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if they showed up to a car wash ribbon cutting. It's not just embarrassing, it's performative. Paparazzi outside Hugh's show literally caught Blake stopping to pose by herself while Ryan trailed behind like a hired extra. Staged sympathy? Obvious. Or maybe they're testing how much distance they can show without starting divorce rumors. Too late, though. Everyone's already speculating.
In this case, it doesn't allow for the heat to die down. The public can be forgiving, but they need time and a reason to forgive and forget. Blake and Ryan seem to be continuing to fan the flames, and it is not landing particularly well for all circles.
And let's not ignore the fact that this desperate photo op spree began precisely when the Baldoni lawsuit started heating up. Coincidence? Please. If these appearances were any more choreographed, they'd need a director's chair. Fans aren't stupid. They've connected the dots. The sudden back-to-back red carpets, the awkward public smiles, the stilted chemistry, all of it screams damage control, not date night.
She got a lot of backlash from having her hair out when she was in that donut shop. I think it's 2 months ago now. I don't remember. So she learned a little lesson there. That's good for Blake because she doesn't seem like she learns lessons very easily.
Now let's get into the rotting core of this whole PR volcano, the Justin Baldoni drama. Remember Ryan's snarky "nice pool" line? Yeah, it aged about as well as Blake's career choices. What seemed like a petty jab has now turned into something much darker. That line kicked off a public backlash about intimacy coordinator jokes, alleged hostility on set, and Blake's empowered woman narrative unraveling faster than her hair extensions.
The issue for Blake and Ryan's image is that a large portion of the public no longer gets their information solely from media outlets, but from social media and online commentators.
Let's talk about Blake's performance on Seth Meyers, where she dropped the line, "Fear keeps us silent." Raw and spontaneous? Try rehearsed and focus group tested. That exact phrase was already floating in Page 6 headlines before the episode aired. Now, tell me that's not PR puppet strings being pulled like a Broadway marionette. Her entire interview read like a teleprompter, one she practiced 50 times in the mirror, probably while applying concealer over whatever remorse she fakes for the cameras.
She seems to be on this tour that's painting herself as a hero for all women. And it's pretty frustrating how Seth and just Hollywood in general seems to be accepting it.
And the media leaks? They weren't leaks. They were previews. People inside her camp were feeding lines to press outlets days ahead, setting up the perfect pity parade before the talk show aired. This wasn't storytelling. It was a strategy manual. The level of manipulation is actually impressive in a, wow, you really think the public is dumb kind of way.
Oh, it's such a chore for me. It is so hard. It is so hard for me, people. Oh, will you please give me more empathy? Because it's so hard being Blake Lively right now, having to go to my nannies and everybody and all these trips where clearly my kids aren't here. And you know, deal with that. And I have to be happy mama for them. I thought the whole lawsuit says you weren't. The whole lawsuit says you can't go outside. You're so bothered by it, you can't leave the house.
But here's the kicker. Public opinion has turned. Hard. What started as sympathy for Blake has twisted into suspicion, then ridicule, and now full-blown backlash. Especially since names like Cate Blanchett, Anna Kendrick, and Sasha Flo have entered the chat, all of whom have shaded, criticized, or flat out exposed Blake's problematic patterns. When Cate Blanchett calls you out, girl, it's time to sit down. This isn't just gossip anymore. It's a reckoning. And what's Blake doing? Playing victim on camera while her PR team leaks quotes and plants headlines like they're spring tulips.
For instance, it creates mistrust in the couple and plants seeds of doubt that their relationship is staged. So much of the public opinion regarding the Baldoni lawsuit drama has been shaped by voices outside of traditional media.
And now, even Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, is allegedly distancing herself. Word on the street is Taylor's team advised her not to be seen with Blake for the next few months. Not 1, not 2, months. That's how radioactive Blake has become. You know it's serious when even the queen of curated friendships says, "Yeah, I'm good."
Maybe Blake did also make some mistakes. Was all this worth it? Those are the types of questions you seem to refuse to answer, and you want to just bully your way back in as if nothing's happened. That's not going to work anymore.
So here we are. Hugh Jackman in legal crosshairs, red carpet stunts more desperate than inspirational, and Blake's feminist rebrand collapsing like a discount wig. Ryan's still out here pretending he's the snarky golden boy, but really, he's just another Hollywood dude whose jokes stopped landing the moment they hit a courtroom. And Blake? She's clinging to whatever storyline gets her through the week. Victim, vixen, visionary, pick a role, sweetie, and stick to it.
And you guys are just doing every step wrong. Every step wrong. Why won't you talk to someone else neutral on the side? You need help. This damage control is not working.
What used to be a couple people admired has now become the ultimate Hollywood case study in how to completely destroy your image with ego, manipulation, and a total misread of the public's patience. They're not fooling anyone anymore. And honestly, that might be the only authentic thing about them left. Absolutely nothing screams midlife unraveling louder than Ryan Reynolds going full Hollywood diva while still pretending he's the goofy guy next door. For years, we thought the man was just naturally charming and self-deprecating.
Marvel dispute. Now, Marvel has now responded and said, nah, we're not doing anything. We're not taking this seriously. Enough is enough.
Turns out, he's been method acting his public persona harder than anyone in Deadpool. Multiple set assistants have now broken the silence. And let's just say, the behind-the-scenes version of Ryan is less quirky funny and more Botox meets breakdown.
We were fans, brother, and we are so disappointed in the way you're handling this. You may have feelings, you may believe your wife, but you gotta step back at a certain point and go, maybe we did the wrong move here. Maybe we are not fully understanding the entire situation here.
Apparently, the real Ryan Reynolds throws tantrums when the lighting isn't flattering, shows up late like it's a personality trait, and smiles like his PR manager is holding a taser off camera. It's no wonder fans have started spamming his Instagram with "You okay, bro?" Etim la fake comments. What started off as a meme is now an actual intervention. His overly rehearsed grins and robotic waves have Vance all the warmth of a wax statue. And let's not forget that his face isn't moving anymore. Thanks to Botox levels that could paralyze a horse, even his laugh lines have surrendered. People are noticing a massive shift in his entire vibe since Deadpool 3 got delayed, and those pesky lawsuits started circling like vultures. The man is cracking, and not in a cute, relatable way. More like, Hollywood has fried my brain and now I'm spiraling through my teeth-whitened smile kind of way. And this whole performative I'm fine shtick, we're not buying it. His interactions with paparazzi now feel like a telethon for public sympathy. One second he's joking, the next he's giving off, please let me be relevant energy so thick you could bottle it and sell it at Goop. And speaking of staged calculated disasters, enter Blake Lively, the high-fashion try-hard turned walking billboard. Her recent obsession with props masquerading as fashion has become a full-time sport. Let's talk about the now infamous $6,000 pizza-shaped bag that was not an Easter egg, but a product placement from another simple favor.
Blake Lively's bag. I mean, why is this a story? She wore a surprise Easter egg bag, according to InStyle.
She wore it to an event in Italy, thinking it was some genius PR move. What it really was? Embarrassing. Nothing says I'm relatable like flexing your wealth through novelty food accessories while trying to act like you just stumbled into your outfit. Blake's donut shop incident 2 months ago, where she was slammed for showing up with perfect curls and full glam in a bakery, still hasn't left public memory. She pulled the most cringe redemption arc ever by putting her hair in a basic ponytail at the pizza promo. Sweetie, that's not growth. That's damage control with a scrunchie.
Where at this occasion, she did actually put her hair back in a ponytail because, as you remember, she got a lot of backlash from having her hair out when she was in that donut shop. I think it's 2 months ago now. I don't remember.
And now, every time she steps outside, it's a red carpet moment. Except it's just a walk to her car. Paparazzi photos show her decked out in 10+ designer brands per outfit. Labels everywhere. Literal tag overload. You can practically hear her screaming, "Take me seriously. I'm an actress and an activist and a fashion icon and a mother." Okay, but no one asked. It's like watching someone drown in their own press releases. Let's not even pretend this is just a rough patch. This is career cannibalism with matching designer outfits. Instead of fixing what's broken behind closed doors, they've turned their PR spiral into a press tour. Every paparazzi shot, every red carpet appearance, every rehearsed quote, they're all just symptoms of a couple crumbling under their own carefully manicured personas. And if you think this public unraveling is accidental, think again. These are two of the most media-savvy people in Hollywood. They know what they're doing, and it's exactly why people are over it. We're no longer watching Hollywood's it couple rise. We're watching them slowly, awkwardly, and publicly self-destruct under the weight of their own lies. So, where does this all end? Subpoenas? Sure. Career burnout? Already happening. Reputation in shambles? Check. But honestly, at this point, the only thing faker than Blake's $6,000 pizza bag might be their entire marriage. The chemistry's gone. The jokes have soured. The mask is slipping. And we're all here for the fallout. From lovable to laughable, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have officially become Hollywood's ultimate cautionary tale. Not because they messed up, but because they thought no one would notice. Newsflash, we noticed, and we're not forgetting. So tell me, are Blake and Ryan fooling anyone anymore? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe because this drama's just getting started.